It's wonderful to have a group of combat veterans like yourselves here at Crescent J Ranch at our Equine Education Center to do some work today with equine-assisted psychotherapy.
I've had post-traumatic stress disorder from Vietnam, and loving it has always been very, very hard for me.
Well, my first impression of this class was that I didn't quite believe it too much.
And I came out a little bit skeptic at first, but my first experience was like, wow.
My name is George Hasenthal. I have PTSD. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I'm 40 years out of Vietnam, and I'm still there in my own mind.
For those folks, though we have all lost something, but Frank and George's particular story of having literally a physical loss, that there might be a special connection here. Good girl. You want to give her a little sweet feed? There we go. Look here. What Frank has. Good girl. Knowing that a part of you can relate to some of her experiences, not just about losing the limb, but the trauma around the whole experience and fitting in, being a little bit different. Many vets are aware that they feel a little bit different than other people, and learning how to deal with that. La Nina has had to do with that because she has been isolated from other horses, not by any choice of her own, but for her own good. Say, I like the bucket. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. And you can feel free to kind of rub her on her back. She is a little bit limited because other horses would take advantage of her, and that's the way it works in nature. So she doesn't get a lot of very close interaction. So I think she enjoys a little back rub, a little stroking and so forth, because she doesn't have opportunity to get that. Though she gets a special feed every day. We take very good care of her. But at the same time, as I said, we expect her to have manners and interact nicely with us. But thinking about experiencing a loss, whenever any of us, especially a body part, and as I'm aware today that Frank over here, who has lost his larynx and is unable to speak without a device, and George here, who has actually lost a digit on his hand. Physical loss is apparent to us all the time, but everyone has lost something in their lives. And every time we experience a loss or become aware of a loss that we experienced a long time ago, it reminds us of all of the losses that have occurred in our lives. And for George, I'm aware, George, that it feels to me, my sense is that you are trying to help La Nina a bit. Am I right there? Yes. Yes, that's very kind of you. Trying to assist her, trying to add a hand that she can maybe steady herself again, because I was watching the firmness and the gentleness. It's the mixture of the two, that you had a very firm hand on her jaw, but at the same time it was gentle. Yes.
You can relate to pain.
You can relate to the pain.
You can relate to it.
Yes. Yes. And to be able to, go ahead.
Seeing a horse shake, like I shake too. I get the shakes.
Ah.
And I can relate to it. And the fact that she's missing
Yes,
kind
yes.
of
Because you shake like this sometimes?
worse.
Worse, worse. Yes. And so many times other people don't understand what that's like, what you struggle with yourself. And it's very meaningful to be able to relate.
I'm diagnosed, I have paranoia and a panic disorder. And watching a horse, La Nina, shaking, brings me back to Vietnam. And I relate to the animal's pain. And I was able to get in touch with the animal in my own heart. And I feel that's something it's hard for me to do because I've locked myself away inside myself. And now I'm starting to come out a little bit.
Actually, Tim had a wonderful question and observation. He's wondering if you could let us know what might be important to you to be communicating to La Nina through your touch, perhaps, if you could put some kind of word on
You
that.
can't put words into this.
Pardon me?
You know you can't put words into this.
You can't put words in this. That's right. That was
Why
that was a silly question on Tim's part, wasn't it?
Sure was.
And I do think just absorbing the experience just as it is here through human touch, as I stand in this moment just with my hand on Frank's shoulder, that says something to me, and I know that says something back from Frank. Same thing with, oh, all right. And touch being an avenue, George is right on target that there is no way to put that in words, Tim. So there's the answer to your question. And what emotion? And I would say it's what you can read on Frank and George.
Well, the horse is having a calming effect on me. This has been a good experience for me. Being around horses, it helped me drop my guard a little bit and get more in touch with myself and with the animals around me. And by doing this, it has helped me to get in touch with people, which I haven't been in touch with in a long time.
It's nonverbal. And so the comment, even George saying it has a calming effect, that he is aware of that happening inside himself. And it doesn't matter if we can't put that in words. So we're just going to kind of let this happen. Because we can seal ourselves off or put up fences, similar to Dennis's fence perhaps, or seal off our wounds, such as occurred physically in La Nina's leg, to such a degree that we might not be able to get back in touch with some of those things that were meaningful in our lives. And the more you're able to stay in touch with those, whether it's through an experience like this, bring back how meaningful it was to maybe run your hand through your own children's hair or your grandchildren's now. I think some very important thoughts are going through Frank's mind now.
Before I came here, I thought it would be kind of fun because you never know. And anyway, I made eye contact. I hope the Zorn was really, and I love the Zorn. I felt love, I got love back, and the horse loved me, and I love the horse.
And I can't help but believe that this is a meaningful experience for her, despite the fact these are human beings, and actually, as she would categorize other animals, they are predators. And she, even after being traumatized, going through what she had to go through, this is a meaningful experience for her. The closeness and the intimacy here without any talking.
horses riding much more out of me. And I also want to change much more from the horses. It was a great experience. I would recommend it to anybody.
This is a good thing for Vietnam veterans, I believe, and combat veterans in general. I'm speaking from my perspective, so it's been a worthwhile project. It is a worthwhile project, and I'm getting something out of it. And if I'm getting something out of it, I know somebody else like me, more unfortunate, is going to get something out of it too.